I'm Hollie. I live here with my partner Wade in Carlsruhe. We've had the property since December, I think 2016, and we've obviously had the willows removed in, I think it was early 2017. So we've got 22 acres, about 10 acres is down the bottom, which is a big paddock which we'll eventually just get some livestock in, and we'll live on the top house. So we're currently living in Melbourne, but we plan to move up here full time. We've just recently had all our planning permits and building permits put through, so we'll start building shortly. So when we bought the property, it was basically about, from the house you could look down onto what would be the river, and it was about 30 to 50 metres of canopy of willows stretching the whole way from this waterhole through to the bridge. An absolute mess underneath them, so my partner would go wander in there and I would lose sight of him. You couldn't see him. We did have a fence up and there were cattle that had been on the property, so they were off the main part of the willows, I think, so they couldn't get lost in the willows, but this waterhole was also accessible to them. So this was probably about a quarter of the size. You could actually only see a quarter of the waterhole here because willows just took up the rest of the area. My partner and I looked at them and we had no idea what to even do with them. They were taking up so much extra land. If you have a look at the Row River snakes around, the willows, like I said, it was about 30 to 50 metres on either side. I couldn't see birds, you couldn't see anything. It was just, like I said, a mess underneath. So I found out about the Caring for the Campaspe project when I emailed the Catchment Authority. So before we took ownership of the property, we actually were thinking of what we could do about the willows. So we saw the property in October, I think, and we were taking possession in December, and I think I emailed the Catchment Authority in November saying, there anything we can do about them? Like, what method would you do for removing them? Because that was a split second we were thinking about removing them ourselves. And that's when Emma got in contact with me and said, we look after the Caring for the Campaspe project and this is what we can do to help. So that was a big relief. So the process was very smooth. We got in contact with Emma, she basically ran with it from there. We should come out, help us with where the fencing should go, let us update us on issues if there were any. Yeah, she was really helpful. I think we've got about 500 metres of the river frontage. So they came through and removed the willows on our side. We were lucky that Parks Victoria is on our other side, so they were more than happy to remove their willows also. And we had fencing done on our bottom paddock. We came a few times after work to see what had been done, and it was honestly, it was fantastic. And even watching it happen down the river with other people's properties, because obviously we've got, I think we can see about 3 or 4 other properties down the river. Just seeing them removed, I think next door to the parkland here was the last one that was removed. We were all hanging out for that to happen, really looking forward to it. It just clears up the view entirely. Yeah, the revegetation that was done's really coming up as well. So we've obviously had the hard summer that's just passed and it's all still popping up. So hopefully come spring next year it'll really make a big difference to the area. We can actually get down onto the river and go for a walk. We can visibly see the river. You can see what impact like no rain during the last few months has had on it. And when it comes to the time that we do finally get rain, we'll be able to see it come back up.